Reaching Beyond. One season, 50 teams, 300 plots. The mission? To overcome obstacles to higher soybean yields.
This is our first time in the challenge, or my first time in the challenge at least with our team. Stone had another team last year that did very well, won the competition. So we saw what they did, and we're kind of following up, trying to take some pointers from them and see what we can do over here in McLean County.
We have 9 growers that are part of our team. They were pretty excited about trying something different and being a part of this team and try to reach new goals, maybe something they haven't seen before. So that's kind of why we decided to do this.
AgVenture has always been very good about providing a lot of new information on how to raise crops differently than what we may have previously done. And when Todd brought up the Soybean Challenge to me this spring, I was very interested because I've always felt AgVenture has had some really good insights and good ideas on how to change up the way we produce things.
You know, we had our farmers that were in our challenge, but the really neat thing to us is you'd have a farmer drive down the road and pull in the field. He was wondering, hey, what are you guys doing out here? You know, why are you out here taking these samples right now?
There's been lots of neighbors they've been coming by looking at what we've been doing. They could tell there was a difference. They could tell we was doing something, and they would stop by and ask and say, you know, what's the difference here in your beans and these are right over here?
The Yield Challenge goal is to increase the average soybean yield in Illinois from 51 to 65 bushels per acre.
They were pretty excited about trying something different and being a part of this team and try to reach new goals, maybe something they haven't seen before.
I think all in all the guys jumped on board and they're utilizing some of those products that they saw some significant changes within their fields throughout their soybean production this year. The competition is a good way to network with our customers and to challenge them and ourselves in terms of, hey, how can we push this threshold on our soybean yields? I mean, because we've done a lot of work in the corn side, but I think there's a lot of untapped potential with our soybeans. Being involved with the challenge this summer added no extra work on my part. The intern that worked with me did all the paperwork. I just had to answer a few simple questions, and I want to say that AgVenture made it very easy to be part of this challenge.
I believe that the Soybean Association and the challenge has given us the opportunity to expedite this and put the science out here that will be extremely helpful in the future.
A couple things that we did here. One was a soybean seed inoculant. Okay, so what we're doing is just taking a quick dig on the roots and see what kind of rhizobia formation that we're finding on these root systems. We had a fungicide treatment here versus a control over to the west as well. Here we have our treated plants, so let's walk over here just into the untreated and compare. So I'm holding up the treated with the soybean inoculant, and we're taking a look specifically at the nodule formation on the soybean roots themselves. And one thing that we're seeing pretty clearly is the formation of nodules out on the root hairs, which is kind of uncommon. Typically you'll see those alongside the main root system, the taproot itself. So we're seeing some nodule formation, pretty good sized nodules on each of these 3 plants as I'm pointing them out, as compared to our control, which we're seeing typically, you know, that formulation right alongside that main stem. In the Soybean Challenge this year, the thing we tried different, I've normally used a peat-based inoculant, and in the challenge, I used a graphite-based inoculant. And so we have 4 different test plots, 2 with the peat-based and 2 with the graphite.
The challenge plot is a no-till field that has treated soybeans and inoculant added with it. Early on in the seed treatment side of things, the vigor of the seed seemed to be improved more.
Some of the things we're doing in the Soybean Association Yield Challenge, we have took to our other parts of our farming operation. We paid more attention to our soil, the science of the soil, the biology of the soil. We went out, we've dug roots, we did tissue samples, we did bricks levels, things that we'd never really ever thought about doing before.
What I've learned through the Soybean Association Challenge is the data that we've collected is how important soil life is to anything that we do. We have learned so much by going out and just walking these fields. Where we had changed our practices a little bit and used a little bit more environmentally friendly approach to this with biologicals, that we were able to go ahead and get through that drought period. And we didn't produce the best beans in the world, but we produced a crop. You know, whenever you compare 5 bushels to 15 bushels, that's a big difference at the end of the day.
I would suggest other people consider getting involved in the Yield Challenge. Obviously it's our first time, or my first time, so it's been a learning experience for me, but there's a lot of opportunities out here to try and enhance these yields. It's a friendly competition. It's an opportunity to look at what you can do in your own field. You always learn more in your own field than you do from a piece of paper with a bunch of data on it.
It's a great resource of ideas, a great opportunity to look at different ways to grow a crop that you never thought of. The ideas that were presented to me were really interesting, and if I ever get a chance to participate again, I would definitely say yes.
I think it would be a positive thing as other growers got involved. The more information we can gather from different operations and different techniques and practices, I think the more information we can gather and have and use.
We want to look at other methods that other people have used in the challenge, and we want to see if there's anything out there that we need to apply to our farming situation. So by doing all this here with the Soybean Association, we've learned all this, and we've educated ourselves here in the last year a lot by doing this with the Soybean Association.
It's an opportunity for us to learn in the field with our own customers, but even just as valuable is what some of the other participants bring to the table too with their teams and competitors, because we get to see all of the products that they're working with and the corresponding yield that they achieve from those.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how these beans did compared to other folks. Even though it was a difficult year as far as moisture-wise, we're all kind of on the same playing field, so I think maybe get more ideas of what happens in adverse conditions than when everything goes well.